Have you ever noticed that your best ideas sometimes come when you're relaxed, enjoying yourself, or simply not trying too hard? There's a reason for that. When we feel genuinely happy, our minds tend to become more open. We become more curious, more willing to explore, more willing to imagine possibilities that we might normally ignore. And creativity needs exactly that kind of freedom. Creativity isn't only about painting, writing, music, or art. It's also about finding a better solution to a problem, seeing an opportunity where others see an obstacle, coming up with a new way to approach an old situation. And sometimes, the biggest thing standing between us and a great idea isn't a lack of talent. It's a mind that feels too overwhelmed to explore. When we're constantly stressed, worried, or afraid of making mistakes, our attention naturally turns towards survival. We think, what could go wrong? What if I fail? What will people think? But creativity asks a different question. What could be possible? That's why happiness can be so powerful. When you experience positive emotions, you may become more willing to look beyond the immediate problem and connect ideas in new ways. You begin to see possibilities instead of limitations. Think about a child playing. A cardboard box can become a spaceship. A stick can become a sword. A blanket can become a castle. The child doesn't need permission to imagine. That's creativity in its purest form. As we grow older, we sometimes trade imagination for caution. We become afraid of being wrong, looking foolish, or creating something imperfect. And little by little, we stop experimenting. Being happy doesn't mean being cheerful every second. Life will always have difficulties. You will experience disappointment, stress, uncertainty, and failure. But happiness can mean having an inner foundation that allows you to keep moving forward despite those things. And when you feel more secure within yourself, you're more likely to create without constantly judging yourself. You can make the first attempt without demanding perfection. You can try something new without needing to know exactly where it will lead. You can make mistakes and say, let me learn from this. That mindset is incredibly important because creativity doesn't always arrive as a brilliant idea. Sometimes, it begins with a bad idea, then another, until suddenly something works. The person who is willing to keep exploring often discovers what the person who is afraid to fail never gets to see. Think about the things that naturally make you happy. Maybe it's music, nature, reading, learning something new, having meaningful conversations, building something with your hands. What do these things have in common? They make you curious. And curiosity is one of the engines of creativity. When you're curious, you ask questions. What if? Why not? Could this work? What happens if I try something different? You stop simply accepting the world as it is. You begin imagining what it could become. So if you want to become more creative, don't always force yourself to produce. Give yourself time to experience. Go outside, listen to something inspiring, learn something unfamiliar, take a different route, have a conversation with someone who thinks differently. Give your mind new material to work with. Sometimes, creativity doesn't need more pressure. It needs more life. Perhaps the greatest lesson is this. You don't have to wait until you become more creative to enjoy life. Sometimes enjoying life is what helps you become more creative. So protect the things that bring you genuine joy, not the temporary excitement of comparison or approval. Real joy, the kind that makes you feel alive, the kind that gives your mind room to breathe, the kind that reminds you that life is more than simply getting through the day. And when you create, don't ask yourself only, will people like this? Ask, does this express something meaningful to me? Because some of your best ideas may appear when you stop trying to impress everyone and start allowing yourself to explore. Happiness gives the mind room, curiosity gives it direction, and creativity gives those thoughts a place to become real. So today, do something that brings you joy, not because you need to be productive, not because it has to become something impressive, simply because you enjoy it. And you may be surprised by what your mind creates when you finally give it permission to play. Don't just create to find happiness. Find happiness and let it inspire what you create. This is Better Spear. Become better one day at a time.